Hi everyone, myself Dr. M. Lakshmi Prasad, working as an Associate Professor in the Department of Data Science in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about what are the various definitions and terminologies in missing data. So first we have to know what is the missing data or what are missing data actually. So according to the statistics, the missing data or missing values can occur when no data value is going to be stored for a variable in observation. Actually, these are the cases or these are situations that may occur as a result of manual data entry procedures and then equipment errors or incorrect measurements. Okay, so what is missing data is nothing but the missing data. Suppose since we are going to gather the data from multiple sources, right? So there may be a chance of missing data. Okay, suppose the manual data entry or equipment errors may happen, and then incorrect measurements may also happen, right? So these are the situations. So due to that, the missing data may occur. And what are the problems we are going to face these missing data? So due to this, what will happen is loss of efficiency and complications in handling and analyzing the data, and then bias that is going to result from the differences between the missing and then complete data. Okay, so the loss of efficiency is the one, and the complications in handling and analyzing the data may occur due to this, and then the bias also may occur due to the difference between the missing and then complete data. So missing data. So the question may arise here: what are the different types of missing data? So what are the different types of missing data? So for that, we're having different types like unit non-responsive missing data, and then item non-responsive missing data, and normal missing data. Okay, so these are the different types of missing data. So unit non-responsive missing data means suppose the data is missing from entire row. So that kind of missing data, what we can able to call it as unit non-responsive missing data. Suppose if some particular field is going to be missed while filling this table, so that normally we're going to call it as missing data. And suppose any one of the column is going to be missed, right? So at the time that should be considered it as a item non-responsive missing data. And then suppose entire column data is missing, so at that time what we can be able to call it as unobserved or latent variable data. Okay, so what are unit non-responsive examples? Suppose the person who is not at home, suppose through interviews, suppose I can able to get the data. So what will happen? So what are the examples? Like the person who is not at home, and then the person who does not pick up the phone, so the data may not come, and the person who hangs upon you and then read the desk before the study, like this. So these are so many examples are available for the unit non-responsive missing data. And what are the differences between this unit non-responsive missing data and then item non-responsive missing data is the another question. So here is unit non-responsive missing data. So the data is going to be missed for entire column, so that one you can able to treat it as a unit non-responsive missing data. And then item non-responsive missing data means suppose in each of the column or each of the row, if I take some data is missing, so at the time that can able to treat it as an item non-responsive missing data. Okay, suppose if I am going to take a table, suppose having IDs like 456, 57, 58 and 59, and column is mentioned as Q1, Q2 and Q3. Suppose the data is missing here and here also. So for the data and missing for entire ID 458, so that one I can able to treat it as a unit non-responsive missing data. And then suppose if the data is missing for particular column on each and every item, so that one will be treated as an item non-responsive missing data. How is the item non-responsive occur? Suppose the through question is I can able to know that I can able to answer like I don't know, and then refusal to respond since the question what the interviewer is going to ask questions, and questions left blank and failed measurement. So these are some of the examples of non-responsive missing data. Okay, So how these are some of the examples. So I can able to treat, or I can able to how it is possible item not responsive for a particular application. Suppose the respondent is asking some questions like what about you, so I don't know, and then refusal to respond, and then questions left blank like this. And next question is that how to minimize this unit non-responsive. So how we're going to minimize this? What are the techniques that are available for minimizing this unit non-responsive missing data here? For that, we're having callback if not at home. Suppose the person is not. Suppose I went to friend house to get the details of particular application. Then at that time he is not available. So what I have to do? I have other options like a callback if he is not at home, and refusal to conversion is the other one, and don't mess up. And then clear, understandable questions you have to be asked to make this who are the respondents or interviewers, so that the person is able to clear it, and polite request, and then incentives. So these are the some of this unit non-responsive missing data. So the missing data, so just now what I said here is that the examples like, so whenever the data is missing, that should be unit non-responsive, and the data is missing from a particular column, then it should be treated as a missing data or item non-responsive. And then entire column data is missing, then it should be treated as a unobserved or latent variable. So what are the different types of missing data is the question. So for this, we're having some of the types like missing completely at random. So in short form, we can able to write it as MCAR. So missing completely random means so values in the data set can miss completely at random in the events, so that lead to any particular data item is missing, or independent of both observable variables and then unobservable parameters of interest, and it may also occur entirely at the random. Okay, so the values in the data set can miss completely. So at random, suppose like if the events that lead to any particular data item, so that means the missing should be either independent of both observable variables and unobservable parameters. So that type of missing data, what we can able to call it as a missing completely at random. And then and the second thing is that so missing at random. So in short, we can able to call it as MAR. So missing at random is an alternative and occurs when the missingness is related to the particular variable. Okay, so suppose some particular data is missing for a particular variable. So at the time, we can able to call it as missing at random, but it is not related to the value of the variable that has the missing data. So example of this is accidentally omitting an answer to a questionnaire. Okay, so accidental omitting an answer for a questionnaire should comes under missing at random case. And missing not at random, this is the other type of missing data, what we can able to call it as MNAR. So MNAR means missing not at random. So this type of missing data can occur for a specific reason. Suppose the value of the variable that is missing is related to the reason it is missing. So there may be a chance, there may be some reason due to that the value of the variable missing at the time. This should be considered as a missing not at random cases. Suppose example of this one is a certain question on the questionnaire tend to skip deliberately by participants with certain characteristics. Okay, so based on the some characteristics what the participants is telling, based on that, suppose if the question is ignoring, then it should becomes under missing not at random case. So some of the questions like what is missing data? So missing data can be defined as the data value that is not stored for a variable in the observation of interest. And what are the missing data patterns means? So the missing data pattern is said to be univariant if there is only one variable with the missing data. Okay, so the missing data or missing value is going to be defined as the data value that is not stored for a variable in the observation of the interest. And second question is what are the missing data patterns? So the missing data patterns is said to be univariant if there is only one variable with the missing data. And the type of question is what is a form. So form is nothing but a database object that can be used to enter or edit or display data from the table or a query. Okay, so we can also use forms to control access to data, such as fields of the data that is going to be displayed. Okay, so normally this my question may arise. So form is nothing but a kind of a database object that should be related to, and which can, by using this form, you can, what you have to do is you can able to enter or you can able to edit and display the data from the table or through the query. And then another question is that what is data analysis process here. So data analysis process is nothing but it is a process of systematically applying the statistics and logical techniques to describe and illustrate, condense and recap and evaluate the data. Okay, so the data analysis is nothing but a process of systematically applying statistical and logical techniques which is going to be described and illustrate the contents and then recap or and then evaluating the data is nothing but the data analysis process. Next question is that what are the three patterns of missing data? So the missing data is going to be classified into three types, like just now what I said. So missing completely at random, and missing at random, and missing not at random. So these are the different types of missing data or different patterns of missing data. And the next question is that what is the missing data pattern? So the missing data pattern is said to be of two types. So first one is that univariant, and then second one is that monotone. So the missing data pattern is said to be univariant if there is only one variable with the missing data, and the missing pattern is said to be monotone if the variables yj can be ordered such that yj is missing, then all variables with all are also missing. So this occurs in longitudinal studies with dropout normally. And what are the various reasons of missing data? That is another question that may come here. So the various reasons of missing data will be suppose the people does not respond to the survey or specific questions in the survey, and then the species are rare and cannot be found or sampled, and then individual dies or drops out before sampling, and some things are easier to measure than the other, and data entry errors. So these are the some of the reasons that may occur due to the missing data. Okay, so the missing data may occur due to some of the cases. What are the reasons will be like the people not respond to the survey or the specific questions in the survey, and then individual dies or drops off before the sampling, and some things are easier to measure other than others, and data entry errors. So due to the missing data may occur. And due to this, so what are the different methods that are available for handling the missing data? So this is the question very important. So different types of methods available for handling missing data. Okay, so for that what you have to do is, so we're having some two types of methods. So first one is deletion methods and then imputation methods. So imputation methods is also known as substitution methods. Okay, so deletion methods means where the cases will be deleted or variables that are missing is going to be deleted, and imputation methods will be substitution methods. Okay, so let's there may be a chance of asking the question, what is the list-wise deletion methods, and what is the pairwise deletion method, and what is the variable deletion method. So these are the different methods of deletion methods, what we call. So list-wise deletion, pairwise and variable deletion. And some of the substitution methods like single imputation, what we can able to call. So within this single imputation, we're having some other type of methods like mean imputation and conditional mean imputation and case mean imputation, regression imputation, and last observation carry forward, and worst case, best case, and EN imputation. So these are the some of those imputation methods that are available here. Let's see one by one here. So what is the list-wise deletion method? So we have to explain this. So list-wise deletion means it is a good method when the proportion of missing data is less than 15%. Okay, so list-wise deletion is the method whenever the missing data proportion is less than 15%. And the advantages are, so it can be used for any kind of or any type of statistical analysis, and no special computations are going to be required, and the parameter estimations are unbiased, and the standard errors are appropriate compared to the original data. So these and all will be the advantages of this list-wise deletion method. So so it can be used for any type of statistical analysis, and no special imputations or computations are required, and parameter estimation should be unbiased, and no standard errors are appropriate when compared to the original data. And disadvantages should be that, so it may remove a considerable fraction of the data. Okay, so what is list-wise deletion is the question. Or sometimes they may be asked explain in detail about list-wise deletion method for that. So at that time, what we have to take an example, like I'm taking an example subject, and then age, gender, and the income I'm taking here. And so by filling this is the data what we're having actually. So for list-wise deletion, what will happen here is, suppose I don't know what is the income of this third person, let it be of age 81, and similarly the data missing here for that fourth person, and then sometimes the age is missing here for the 8%. So what will happen? So this and all the missing data, what will happen? So at that time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to, according to this method, I'm going to delete this entire rows. So that is the concept of list-wise deletion here. Okay, so wherever the data is missing, so particular row is going to be deleted. That thing we can able to call it as the list-wise deletion method. And next thing, so what is the pairwise deletion is the another question. So according to this, what will happen is, it involves some dropping cases with missing values on analysis to analysis basis. Okay, so based on the analysis to analysis basis, the paired cases are going to be deleted. So, and what are the advantages of this? So the advantages will be using all this unavailable missing data. So that is the advantage, and disadvantage should be estimated standard errors and test statistics are to be biased here. So these are the disadvantages. Okay, what are the standard errors and then test statistics may appearing due to this. This method become not preferable for that kind of application here. Suppose same application I'm taking here. So what will happen here is, so if I'm going to take the subject 3, income is missing, and if I'm going to take subject 4 and gender is missing, and then for subject 8 age is missing. So out of this analysis I have to do. So what this table is building, actually I'm going to see the income, right? For that purpose, what I'm going to do, the income is going to be calculated, right? So according to the income, so I'm going to give preference for this actually. So I'm going to take care of this, and then for gender, it is not that much important, and then age is also important. So based on the age, I can able to see this income. So analysis basis. So for that, what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to delete this gender here, since that is not that much important. Again, if I'm going to take the characteristics of age, gender, and income. So income is important, even the data is missing, I have to keep it out, and age is also important, and gender is not that much important, right? So that's why I'm going to delete this method here. Variable deletion. So the variable deletion involves dropping variables with missing values on case-to-case basis. And advantages is that makes sense when lot of missing values in the variable, and if the variables is relatively less importance. And disadvantage should be the loss of information regarding the variable. Okay, these are the variable deletion methods. So variable deletion is the method which is going to be dropping of variables how it will be the previous methods with the missing values on case to case basis. And previous thing should be done on based on analysis to analysis basis, but whereas the variable deletion is going to be done based on case to case basis. So the advantages according to this one make sense when lot of missing values in a variable, and if the variable is also having less relatively importance. And disadvantages, so the loss of information regarding the variable is the disadvantage of this method. So here what will happen here is, so variable deletion, so either suppose the data is missing here, and then data is missing gender also, and then data is missing an income also. What will happen? So I can able to delete either of the cases. I can able to delete age, or I can able to delete the gender. So the column wise I can able to delete it. So previous thing is row deletion, now it is column deletions. Okay, so the column deletion will be considered as variable deletion method. And one the kind of method what we're having is what is mean imputation method. So the mean imputation is that according to this method, the missing values are going to be replaced with the mean of the variable. Okay, suppose the data is missing here, and the data is missing here also. So the variable 1, the data is missing, and variable 3, data is missing. So how can able to fill this value? What is the method according to this? That is mean imputation. So for that, what I have to do, I have to calculate the mean of this variable, and whatever the mean value I'm getting, we have to fill that missing value with that mean value. So similarly, I have to calculate the mean value of entire thing, and then I have to fill this value with the missing value. That should be a mean imputation method. And conditional mean imputation. So what is the conditional mean imputation? This is the another kind of question that may come. So what is conditional mean imputation? So according to this method, what will happen is the missing value are going to be replaced with the value of variable mean for a relevant subject group. Okay, so based on the variable, I can able to fill this one. So conditional mean here. So here the data is missing, so that's why I have to fill this variable with the conditional mean. And here also I can able to sex. So sex may be either female or female. I can able to based on the characteristic of this variable, I can able to fill it out whether it is male or female. So that kind of thing we can able to call it as the conditional mean imputation. And next question that may arise is what is the case mean imputation? So the case mean also same thing. So where you can able to fill the missing values in the information from the other variables for the same case to impute the missing value. Okay, so the case mean imputation means where you can able to fill the missing values with the other variables or other variable values where the data is going to be missed. Suppose I can able to fill this one with either this one I can able to take or this one I can able to take. That should be case mean imputation. And next one, what is the method what we're having is regression imputation. So here the regression imputation is another kind of method what we're having for filling the missing values with the equations. Based on regression equation also I can able to fill this missing value with the regression imputation calculation. So according to this method, so what will happen here is, so the missing values are going to be filled by using the information for the complete cases to predict the value of the missing data based on the regression equations. Suppose this is the equation I define. So what is the value I'm having? So for that values we have to incorporate into this variable, and I can able to get this variable 1 what the missing value it is getting. Okay, suppose if the variable is missing, so what I have to do is I have to take to substitute this. So what is the variable 2 and then 3? So if I'm going to take variable 2 is what, this one, and variable 3 is this one. Okay, so by substituting these two values into this equation, I can able to get the missing value for the variable 1. So this is the another type of question that may come. So filling the missing value with the regression imputation. So that means that the missing value is going to be filled with the regression imputation. And then next one is that, so what is the last observation carried forward method? So according to this method, what will happen is the missing value what we're having here is, so that one is going to be filled with the same outcome of the recent time what we observe. Suppose the variance I am going to take here, suppose average of T1 and T1. Suppose in this table what will happen, you are getting the missing value in T3. So I can able to fill this missing value. So according to this method, what I have to do, either I have to take the average of T1 and T2, or I can able to do what is the last observation what I am getting here, that is 8. So that one is also going to be filled with the missing value of third variable. So that is the last observation carried forward. That means what is the last observation observed? 8. So I have to fill with 8. Suppose here also we're having 7, then I have to fill with the 7. That is last observation carried forward method. And next thing is that interpolation. So what is interpolation is the question. So using this interpolation method, so what will happen is you have to fill in the missing values useful for longitudinal data sets. Okay, so according to the interpolation also we're having a chance of missing values. So mainly this is going to be used for longitudinal data sets, where what we're having based on the application you can able to use this method. And the next one, expectation maximization. So what is expectation maximization? So this is the another kind of method where you can able to substitute the values with ML imputation, what we call it as. Suppose the E step, what we are going to do is the expected values are going to be calculated based on all complete data points, and then according to the M step, that is maximization, the procedure what we're having impute the expected values from the E step and then maximizes the likelihood function to obtain the new parameter estimates. Okay, so expectation maximization is the method. So it is going to be used for filling the missing values based on two steps where it is going to be followed. So first thing is that E step, and second thing is the M step. So E step means the expected values are going to be calculated based on all completed data points. In M step, what we are going to do, we have to impute the expected values what we are getting from the E step and then maximize this likelihood function to obtain the new parameter estimations. And next one is the multiple imputation. So multiple imputation will also quickly become a gold standard approach to handle the missing data, but computationally it is complex. Okay, so the question what is here is, so what is multiple imputation? So multiple imputation means, so this is the approach which is going to be used for handling the missing data, and due to this complexity, so this type of method is going to be used very rarely for filling the missing data what you are getting here. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.